And our final fellow of the evening, Susan Zwerman, VES. Susan is a visual effects producer and has been a VES member for over 20 years. She's the co-editor of the Visual Effects Handbook of Visual Effects and has served multiple terms on the VES Board of Directors. She's an executive producer for Exceptional Minds, a nonprofit school and studio that prepares young adults on the autism spectrum for careers in animation and visual effects. Some of Susan's credits include Broken Arrow, Around the World in 80 Days, Dawn of and War for the Planet of the Apes, Avengers Age of Ultron, Infinity War and Endgame, and most recently, First Man. Susan, welcome. Congratulations. Sure.
Thank you. Can you all hear me? Yes. Thank you, Mike, for that lovely, lovely introduction. This prestigious Fellows Award is a great honor that will fit not only in a very special place in my home, but also occupy a very special place in my heart. From the very beginning of my career, the VES has been a family to me, a family that has supported and inspired me and made me want to give back. There are so many generous people who are willing to extend a hand and take a chance on me. I'm so grateful to all of them, especially Bill Bottolato, who inspired me today to keep pace as the industry changed from optical to digital, to stay on the cutting edge of evolving new technology, and to never stop learning. Bill gave me my first job as a unit production manager on Firebirds. You know, in those days, there were no visual effects producers or supervisors, and that went on for a few years until the studios realized that they needed to control the costs, and thus the roles of the freelance visual effects producer and supervisor were born. I was fortunate enough to be able to use my skills in budgeting and scheduling as a unit production manager to transform into a visual effects producing. Bill's generosity taught me one of the most profound lessons in my career, that we have the responsibility to share our knowledge, not just with our seasoned colleagues, but also with the new VFS members that join us every year. We were all part of a learning curve for this developing technology. We learned by trial and error. Years ago, I remember working for a studio on a script that was not yet greenlit. I presented the studio with a very high budget. That studio exec, as you can well imagine, was not very pleased, but he did come up with a really rather original solution. He asked me to color code each visual effects shot in the script. Red indicated 100,000 or more, pink 50 to 75,000, green 25 to 50,000, and yellow 10 to 25,000. So I color coded these shots in the script as instructed. The studio executive slapped the script on the writer's desk and said, "You see all these red shots? Cut them." And so the movie was made. As some of you may already know, I've spent the last 5 years of my career working as a studio executive producer at Exceptional Minds, a school and studio for adults on the autism spectrum. Exceptional Minds Academy was opened in 2011 by my best friend of 40 years, Judy Bennett, who's here today. And Judy, along with a group of parents who had teenagers on the autism spectrum, they wanted to find a solution to the lack of post-high school educational services and job training for people with autism. Judy's son Noah is on the autism spectrum, and I became his mentor once we discovered his love for animation. So we built a small visual effects studio, and because of my extensive experience as a visual effects producer, I was able to convince the studios to come on board and give these artists a chance. We are so lucky to have their industry support for this incredible school and studio. None of this would have been possible without the support of the amazing Victoria Alonso, who is the Executive Vice President of Marvel Studios. She gave us a big break doing VFX cleanup work on Avengers: Age of Ultron. Our studio has worked on many impressive films, including Star Wars: The Last Jedi for ILM, Green Book, First Man, Black Panther, and more recently, Avengers: Endgame. Our artists are filled with a sense of accomplishment and pride. The generosity our industry has shown these young people has changed their lives and give them a place in the world. I'm proud of my contribution to this effort and the support of my colleagues towards this goal. I now want to thank the Visual Effects Society for giving me the incredible opportunity to be a part of their past board of directors and for their ongoing support of the seminars I have organized. I want also to thank the Fellows Committee for this wonderful recognition of my career in the VES. And I'm not done yet. Thank you for this terrific honor. Sorry, photo op.